friend, Mahmoud El Hareedy.
Good afternoon, welcome back to Leicester at the Mattioli Arena, and it's the second qualifying round of the Wuhan Open. Stan Moody against Mahmoud El Hareedy. Stan Moody, of course, one of the great young hopes of UK snooker, just 19 years of age. We saw him last season make his Crucible debut, but long before that he reached his first ranking event quarter-final at the Wuhan Open. So would love to return. He needs to win this match and then beat Stephen Maguire tomorrow to do so. His opponent is a second season professional from Egypt. El Hareedy struggled badly on his first season. He won the All Africa Championship to book his tour card, but he only won one match last season. But he's already won one this season in this tournament. He beat Zhu Yichen 5-3, made a century, so maybe just starting to settle into life on tour now. Be an interesting match this. Moody is the younger man, but has more experience at the top level. And may have a chance here. I think this is cuttable. Didn't quite get that red safe. So the first real mistake. But Moody unable to convert. And that cannon to the pack has left a red on. El Hareedy, 27 years of age, is currently 128th in the world, obviously just that one win last season. This is one of the many good things about snooker at the current time, the 2-year card. You do get a chance to learn your way. It's still obviously going to be very hard to keep his card, but already it feels like a better season than the first one. It's a great effort, wasn't it? Didn't have much angle. He made a pretty good contact with the reds, but they just didn't split.
6.
We've got 7 matches this afternoon.
6.
Fan Zhengyi plays Anton Kazakov. David Lilley plays our team Zhejiang. The winner there will play Wu Yize in Wuhan. Remember, the top 16 held over. Matthew Stevens and Ashley Carty. The winner plays Ronnie O'Sullivan. Jimmy Robertson and Yao Peng Cheng. Zach Surety and Oliver Sykes. Hugo Chang and Sean O'Sullivan.
Touching ball.
Moody's quite a big favourite to win this match, but in a way, he mustn't think like that. He's got to, of course, treat his opponent like any other. And he has given him another potential opening here. Not to be, though. Or is it? Oh, nearly fluked it. At least it's run away from the pocket. So this is Stan Moody's 4th season. He's currently enjoying his highest ranking, 40th. Of course, got to the Crucible. That was an extraordinary match with Karen Wilson. He played so well early on, but But of course, it's a two-session affair, and having led 6-2, just seemed to get kind of overexcited at night, and Karen Wilson used his experience. Beat him 10-7. Well, got away with that. Covered the red near the pocket. Of course, in Wuhan, he had a string of really good victories. Ding Junhui, Zhou Yulong, Barry Hawkins, Zhao Gudong, the eventual winner, beat him 5-2 in the quarterfinals. But of course, notably, he broke the Ding curse, which has of course never been mentioned since. That kept us going for a good year, the Ding curse. Anyone who beat Ding in a tournament lost their next match. That had been ongoing, but as I say, Stan Moody buried it. This match, once again, best of 9. And just to reiterate, the whole of the top 32 come in the last 64 stage, but the top 16 are seeded to Wuhan, or held over, I should say, to Wuhan. As Hareedy makes a right mess of that. Well, he's left a chance here. Yeah, so 17 to 32 players, i.e. Stephen Maguire, waiting for the winner here, will play their matches in the last 64 here tomorrow. So that just explains how it all works. Some players today will go to Wuhan because they'll play a top 16 player. Others, such as the winner of this match, Stan Moody, of course, hopes it's him. I'll have to play tomorrow. So, after a couple of full starts, this is a decent opening for Moody. He made 16 century breaks last season, including the highest of his career, 142 in the Saudi Arabia Masters. Worth saying as well, to get to the Crucible in the final round of qualifying, he beat Zhang Jun. And first chance he got in that decider, he made a century. It was 9 each. Zhang had a chance. Moody only needed 1. That was very impressive. And he played really well at the Crucible. It's just something, the whole experience they'll have to learn from. There's so many great players. So many have gone there and lost their first ever match. I mean, literally Davis, Hendry, O'Sullivan, John Higgins, Judd Trump, Neil Robertson,
16.
Straw Murphy, on and on it goes. So there was no sort of shame in it. He's had his say about Karen Wilson's celebration, which, to my eyes, there was nothing wrong with what Karen did, but Stan saw it differently. But I'm sure all of that will be quickly forgotten. Should have been around in the days of Peter Ebdon, if you thought that was extreme. Anyway, he's gone into them with a bit of pace. And could have ended up better. There is one to right
21.
corner, but it's a bit hard to get to. Pink's in the way, really. Yeah, nicely done. It was a well-controlled shot. And so now definite frame-winning opportunity. He was beaten in his first match in the China Open, so he got no ranking points there. Fang Zhengyi beat him 6-3. So it was a bit of a blow start of the season, but
29.
so many tournaments And I know a lot of people hoping we'll see the teenager really stepping up
30.
again. He's improved every season. I mean, it's quite an achievement to stay on, actually, after 2 years. He did that after his third season, got up to 40 in the world. So next is pressing on towards top 32, and then I guess the top 16. It's a bit like the sort of ranking bands in snooker. It's a bit like the leagues in football. You know, you want to be sort of
37.
promoted to each one. And our Premier League, I guess, is the top 16.
38.
Well, this is a bit pacey for the black. May even look at the blue here. Try and recover things. Blue it is then. These are the sort of balls players never seem to miss on the practice table. Stan Moody has potted that very cleanly on the match table.
43. $44.
Well, this time looking at the pink to middle. He's got a 42-point lead, 48 with the pink.
$50.
Oh, but the break
Stan Moody.
ends at 50, just as he was in full control. And this is that red.
One. Seven. Mahmoud.
Well, he's had a few chances already. That's his third, but it's gone wrong. So lead 41.
One.
Already missed though, Moody. You know, tomorrow if he does win this match, and he is favourite to playing Stephen Maguire, they're the sort of mistakes you will be punished for against a real top player.
Eight.
So 49 to the good. He's tied up pink and black, which actually is not a bad thing really with the lead he's got. Well, that's a bad thing. Missed the red. So, been plain sailing. He's still favoured for the frame, but not over the line yet. El Hareedy just struggling though in this opening frame. And that's a super shot from Moody. Well, that looks like a frame winner, so that'll cheer him up. Another red needed after the blue. no doubt he's a great talent. He won the World Junior Championship 2023.
6.
But he's gone too far for the red he played on, the left-hand red. Not on it, so still it's a pot. And unless he tries to snip this in, it's very thin. Yeah, quite low percentage that, and he's always leaving it over the pocket. So with pink and black tied up, he's in a strong position. El Hareedy will need to get those into play because he's 55 behind. We say 59 on, but that's with all blacks. At the moment, it's not possible. Again, I mean, he could have inadvertently split those colours up there. He doesn't want to be anywhere near those two balls. First frame of the day, Ashley Cartier, breaker 68 to lead Matthew Stevens. The winner will play Ronnie O'Sullivan in Wuhan. Well, that ends that then. What a part to win the frame. Spectacular. Not the cleanest of frames, but it's going to go to Stan Moody.
6. 7. 9.
Well, it was a bit scrappy in the end, but Stan Moody
9.
gets over the line in the frame. And it's 1 down, 4 to go for him. El Hareedy's not going to concede, though. He's going to come and play a few shots. I mean, there's an argument this is the biggest match he's played. He's on the main table in the qualifying against a very highly rated player.
Mahmoud El Hareedy,
Well,
1.
Just has to lay the snooker, but Moody's just got to be careful here. I mean, he's a long way in front. He's 63 points in front. Yeah, 3 balls could have happened there, but he's hit the red.
Can see the frame, yeah.
And in fact, El Hareedy has seen enough. So Julian Bell, the referee, will set them up for frame 2. Stan Moody off and running here this afternoon. It's worth reiterating, he did lose his first match in the China Open, so he's looking to bounce back in the second qualifier of the season. Still just the 1 frame on other tables completed. Tomorrow morning, we know the lineup. It will be Gary Wilson, Aaron Hill on the main table. So we'll have commentary from 10 o'clock on that. Dave Gilbert against Noppert Senkom, Jack Jones against Matt Selt, Stuart Bingham against Daniel Wells, Elliot Slesser against Ryan Day, Shangander against Stephen Hallworth, Lepe Fan against Jackson Page, and Jack Lazowski against an opponent to be decided here this afternoon. It'll be Jimmy Robertson or Yao Peng Cheng. So some terrific matches there, and we've got Aaron Hill and Gary Wilson. Of course, Hill beat Wilson from a long way behind in the last event, the China Open.
Thank you. The second frame. Stan Moody to break.
So Moody won that opening frame, albeit needed a few visits. helped by a few errors from his opponent. That's not the best break-off, though. OK, he's got a reasonable cue ball, but the red is cuttable. And El Hareedy just having a look at the potting angle. Not quite. Got close to it. But, although it's an acute angle, it is potable for Moody. And if he leaves an angle on the blue, he can get into the reds. So straight away, an opportunity to get everything into play here. Well, he's just stuck to the pink.
6.
Not great. It's hampered by the pink, yes, but the red is possible. Calling for the spider, or as Dominic Dale always calls it, the bridge rest. Well, it went in off the other red.
One.
But it went in. Got to try and show Moody something here because, you know, towards the end of that last frame, Moody was just going for everything, almost kind of half expecting to win the frame.
7.
As I say, did make a century during that victory over Xu Yishen in the first round. Highest break on tour, 116. He made 2 centuries last season on his debut year. It is hard coming from a country like Egypt, which is not one with a huge
14.
snooker heritage. So, you know, you can become the best player in your country, but it's hard to improve unless you play other leading players. And for non-British players,
50.
the problem is always the cost of coming over. You know, it's easy to say, oh, go and live in Sheffield, but, you know, how are you going to fund it? So it's not easy. That's why these international cards exist, to try and give these players more experience and make the World Snooker Tour more global.
$21. $22.
Well, he's just finished wrong side of the blue. A pretty good effort. He just kisses the red. He'll be on the other one. Doesn't want to land up behind this one, though.
27.
That's what's happened. Oh, he's finished it with a poor one.
27.
Catching the knuckles of the pocket.
1.
Very thin this.
Stan Moody. 1.
Matthew Stevens has levelled up with Ashley Carty. 1 each. Winner plays Ronnie O'Sullivan in Wuhan. David Lilly 1-0 up on our team. Zhejiang. Winner plays Wu Yiza, the world champion, in the final stages. Jimmy Robertson 1-0 over Yapeng Cheng. Ergo Chang 1-0 over Sean O'Sullivan. Oliver Sykes, new pro from the UK, 1-0 over Zach Shirity. Still first frame. Fang Zhengji and Anton Kazakov, of course, we saw yesterday with that dramatic win on the black against Marco Fu, 5-4. Well, again, he's left the tempter. The black is over the pocket, so he can put everything into the pot here.
One.
Matthew Stevens actually made a century in that opening frame. Sorry, hit the second frame against Ashley Carty.
6. Seven. Eleven. 12.
Well, if he's playing the black, he could just try and get into the reds here. But,
19.
they're kind of pot in sequence anyway. Matthew Stevens 1-4-3. Fantastic break from Matthew. That's actually his
20.
highest break on tour for 7 years. Made 2 1-4-3s in the 2019 World Championship, a 1-4-4 earlier that season in the International Championship, so effectively 8 years. So it's good to
27.
see from a very popular player. Doesn't seem that long since he was the new star coming through. Stan Moody's in that
28.
position now. It's a nice shot to get these reds open. So now it's about a bit of discipline and focus. This is a golden chance to lead 2-0. I think you can see in Moody the just great enthusiasm
35.
he has for playing snooker. I'm sure he's been looking forward to the new season. Some of the older players, you know, they prefer to be on the beach,
36.
but when you're 19, this is what you want to be doing.
Forty-two. 43.
So, pink, red and another big colour required.
$49.
Now, checking the scores, you'll need at least a pink to not need the last red, or at least to leave El Hareedy needing snookers.
50.
So he's worked that out. This is effectively for 2-0. So wants to make sure the red as well to stop any playing on. El Hareedy's had a few chances. He was in this frame, of course, lost position. Just finding it a bit of an uphill struggle so far.
57.
It's a lovely pot, and that ends any prospect of a comeback. So it's going to be 2-0 to Moody. It's kind of going to what we expected so far.
63. 65. 68.
2-0 to Oliver Sykes. He's made a 98 break in the second frame there against Zach Surety.
72. 77.
Well, a couple of errors from Moody in the first frame, but this has been very clean and clinical.
83.
And indeed impressive. Lovely 90 clearance from Stan Moody.
90 in the frame, Stan Moody.
And in just about half an hour, he's opened a 2-0 lead over Mahmoud El Hareedy. Yeah, good stuff from Moody. And as I say, it could be a bit of a blockbuster tomorrow against Stephen Maguire, because we know Stephen gives it everything, and he will be well aware of how dangerous Moody is. And as I say, in that first frame, the errors he made, Maguire, might have punished them. El Hareedy was unable to. We'll see. He hasn't won yet, but a good start. One more day of qualifying action. Had some nice messages, by the way, people watching, so thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying qualifiers here on WST Play. We'll have commentary all season on Table 1. Got a bit of a break, the Championship League, Shanghai. No, in fact, I've got that wrong. Before Shanghai, there's more qualifying. Managed to squeeze it in. Qualifying for the Xi'an Grand Prix. And indeed the English Open. And the British Open. So it turns out there's a lot of qualifying in between the Championship League and the Shanghai Masters last week of July. Every snooker player, well, certainly outside the top 16, has now got the Mattioli Arena in their sat-nav, because there's a lot of snooker held here, including the Championship League next week, which starts on Monday. Maguire won that last year. Ergo Chang, of course, made his debut at the Crucible, lost to Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's won the first against another O'Sullivan, the unrelated Sean, 64, the break. Still frame one of Fan Zhengyi and Anton Kazakov. It's a 35-minute affair. They're on the yellow there. Jimmy Robertson 1-0 up on Yao Peng Cheng. The winner there plays Jack Wazowski tomorrow. As I say, 10 o'clock we'll have Gary Wilson, Aaron Hill. Wilson led 4-0 in the China Open. Aaron Hill beat him 6-5, so I'm sure Gary Wilson will be hoping for some sort of revenge there. But really, he's just looking to advance early season. I was saying earlier, it's June, but these early tournaments, they can set the tone a little bit for your season. You make a good start. You know, you're building up confidence, you're building up points, you're thinking of the Players Series, and rising up the rankings. If you make a bad start, the opposite, you know, you don't have that much snooker to look forward to. So, yes, it's early in the season, but these are big tournaments. Our referee's Julian Bell from Sheffield. Refereed the classic Saudi Arabia Masters final last season between Neil Robertson and Ronnie O'Sullivan. John Pellew there on table 2. Someone worked out he refereed the most matches of anybody last season because he did a lot of Championship League as well as qualifying and main events. One of the great voices in snooker, John Pellew. Very soothing. You'll have worked out by now the toilet is not close. They have to go upstairs and then come back downstairs. Here he comes. So Stan Moody on top, 2-0.
The third frame, Mahmoud El Hareedy to break.
So Moody didn't leave the red he missed. What he's seen, I think his intention is really to go for his shots, which is how he plays anyway, whoever he's playing, but clearly aware that his opponent is from the lower reaches of the rankings and may not be able to capitalise if he misses. Of course, it is a bit of a calculation, that. Potted that one.
1. Eight.
This is a straightforward test of cueing. Nicely done.
9.
But now he's got to clearly get into these reds. Yeah, and he's just stuck to them. A little sort of look of annoyance.
16.
Meanwhile, our team Zhuzhin has levelled up with David Lilly 1 each, and Anton Kazakov. It was a 74 break, by the way, from Zhuzhin. Anton Kazakov has won that tight opening frame.
Mahmoud El Hareedy, 16.
On, well, he potted the pink at the end of it to lead Fan Zhengyi 1-0. Wow, what a result that was. He caught it far too thin, but glanced off another red, and the cue balls finished pretty good. Well, can he just see the potting angle here? Looks like it. So another test of cueing for Mahmoud El Hareedy. Well, it may be he couldn't actually see the pot there. I'm not entirely sure whether he took that on or not. May just have been playing the containing safety. Moody not able to take advantage either way. He has that feeling already that El Hareedy's going to have to do something here to show Moody that, you know, he can win this match. Otherwise, Stan Moody, you fancy, will just sort of coast to victory, albeit has to guard against overconfidence. Yeah, and he's just chipped a red out, and again, frustrated look because he's chipped a red into play. It's now potable for Stan Moody.
One.
Again, an aggressive shot, trying to open reds up. Now, just looking at various options here. I think he's just playing the safety. So that is showing a bit of respect.
Stan Moody.
Not forcing the issue there, waiting for a better chance. Sean O'Sullivan has levelled up. Fang Zhengyi and Yang Peng Cheng, one each also with Jimmy Robertson. Sorry, Sean O'Sullivan's playing Hergo Chang. Fang Zhengyi is 1-0 down to Anton Kazakov. You could sort of see him guiding that cue ball in there with his cue, but of course it was just a good shot. That's why it's finished there. Looks like he can clip one of these reds on the right-hand side, though. Yeah, pretty good return. Very dangerous table now. These reds have really fanned out. And that one's in.
One.
Very much a sort of shot to nothing, playing the white back to safety. big shot that. Had to get it, really. He was always going to be leaving
Moody.
the red on. Now, this is a good scoring chance for Mahmoud El Hareedy. It has to start here, you feel, if he's going to mount any sort of serious challenge today.
One. Six. Seven.
Really imperative that he scores here. As I say, just shows Moody that he's up to it.
12. Thirteen. 19. 20.
'All-Africa Championship last year or 2 years ago now, to earn his tour card.
26.
Peter Yassine Bellamy. Moroccan, 6-1 in the
27.
final. Being played this year in South Africa, Johannesburg.
$33. 34.
Well, so far so good. Can he now finish the job? The black putting 48 in front. Couple more reds needed. Taken them nicely. As I say, it was so important to show Stan Moody what he's got here.
41.
And he has done.
42.
'So this red frame ball.
49.
Moody took on that tough brown. The riches were there. If he potted it, all these would have been his. But
50.
he missed it. And Mahmoud El Hareedy, after a few full starts, he's going to be on the scoreboard.
$57. 58. 65.
Well, there's enough on for a century. He made one in the China Open qualifiers.
66.
In fact, forgive me, it was actually in the first round of this event against Yu Shen. Either way, he made the most of the chance.
72. $73.
He's got the shots as well, hasn't he?
80.
You know, you can see he's a good cueist. Just sort of trying to gain experience at the highest level, which often happens by
82.
getting a little bit bashed up, as he was last season. Let's be honest, he only won one match, but already it's a promising start to this campaign.
85. $89.
Blue and pink then for the century. This has been a nice break. Okay, the balls were there, but he had to keep control, and that's what he's done.
94.
So any thought Stan Moody's just going to have it all his own way have been dispelled by this break. Really important contribution, this, from Egypt's Mahmoud El Hareedy. A fine century
100.
to get on the scoreboard. Clears very impressively with 107.
Mahmoud El Hareedy.
Stan Moody's lead is reduced to 2-1. That was nice to watch, wasn't it? And El Hareedy much happier about things after fluffing his lines a couple of times earlier on. He's gone to the toilet now. Our team Zhejian, meanwhile, has won the third frame against David Lilley. .136 there, because he had a 145 yesterday, so he's doing some heavy hitting, the young Latvian. We saw him actually in the audience last night. Ashley Carty 2-1 over Matthew Stevens. Stevens had a 143. Carty's had 68 and 63. Oliver Sykes 2-0 over Zach Surety, and 98 the highest there. Kazakov still 1-0 over Fan Zhengyi. Yao Peng Cheng and Jimmy Robertson 1 each. And Hergo Chang 1 each with Sean O'Sullivan. So this time Moody just been made to wait, wiping his face. It's quite warm in this arena. But as I say, he's seen now that his opponent, you know, can play, can make the breaks, and maybe that'll just affect his own approach. There's nothing wrong with going for the brown he went for, because, you know, he would have been amongst the reds, probably would have been 3-0, but just didn't pot it. Well, this time we're waiting for El Hareedy. As I say, the toilet's quite a way away. They've both been, we've only been going an hour, they've both been already. The interval's coming up after the next frame. Here he comes, so we can continue.
The fourth frame, Stan Moody to break.
Stan Moody leads 2-1, but El Hareedy's had a century, 107 clearance in the frame he won. Yeah, and now he's feeling confident. Terrific pot, also to hold for the black.
Eight.
Black tied up, but more pressingly, can he continue the break here with this red to right corner? Ooh, not quite.
Mahmoud El Hareedy, 8.
Now is there a gap between reds and pink for that red? The way Moody's gearing up, it seems there is. Yeah. Just hoping to be on the pink there, but didn't quite work out. Now the yellow is available. So it's a question of, is it worth the risk? He took the brown on in the last frame. It was his last shot, but looks like he's taken this yellow on. Yeah, nicely done.
3. Four. Nine.
Well, it's a good scoring chance, albeit the black tied up, but pink and blue available. So Moody just formulating a plan here.
10.
No doubt he's got a lot of self-confidence, and that's so important. Of course it is in this sport
15.
where mental toughness is really a virtue. Just struggled a bit at the Crucible, I think, to keep a lid on his emotions, but there's no need to keep going on about that. He's played there now, he knows what to expect next time, and I'm sure there will be a next time, there'll be many times. Be really interested to see where Moody is in the rankings by the time of next year's World Championship.
22.
Is he going to be in that 17 to 32 bracket? Of course, if you win a tournament, could end up in the top 16. Don't want to start over-egging it, but there's a lot expected of him, and of course he's got a lot of time on his side at the age of 19.
23.
He's done really well so far. He's got better each season. He's made important steps each season. This is only his 4th on tour. I'm sure now he wants to really be at the business end of events and challenging for trophies. Why not?
29. 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can he see the pink to pot it? Julian Bell will be interested here. No problem.
36.
Our team's judging back-to-back centuries, so he's scoring like an absolute dream at the moment. 145 yesterday. He's had 74,
37.
136, and currently on 118, a possible another 136 coming up. So that is very, very impressive from the young Latvian. Great to see these young players now coming to the fore from various parts of the world, UK included.
43.
But Moody
Stand
getting the
over
rest
43.
out there is broken down. Now then, 35 in it. We saw El Hareedy very impressive in the last frame. But this would be more significant if he could hit back from here. It was 136 by the way, Zhuzhen, so 3-1 at the interval there. Well, unable to take advantage, but covered the red to left corner. Well, that's freed the black, which of course will help Mahmoud El Hareedy because he's trailing by 35. Again, going for it without a huge amount of thought for safety. by the black seems too thin though. Or is it? Let's find out. Well, again, taking this on, but a heavy degree of safety in mind. Played that well because it's in his interest to get the reds into play as he's trailing by 35, but he's got a good cue ball as well. Having said that, Moody's sizing this one up. Well, he's not turning anything down, but will it be costly this time? He's played very open snooker, Stan Moody, and it hasn't worked throughout this match. He is offering chances, and this is a better one now that the black's free, reds have opened up.
Eight. Nine.
Well, you can see the unhappiness there.
15.
To finish there with a red over the pocket is just very disappointing. Of course, now he's got to hide that red.
Mahmoud El Hareedy, 50.
So Stan Moody leads by 20 points. Is he going to try this cushion first? That's what he attempted. Problem is the red hasn't really moved that far away from the pocket, so it's cuttable. The cue ball's going to be flying a bit, so leaving it a little to chance with position, but can he cut the red in? No, he can't. Nearly fluked one. Scrappy frame. The red that he nearly fluked at least has come away from the corner pocket. He's looking a bit disconsolate. Has left this one to the middle. So Moody does get another chance to make it 3-1. It's not been completely dominant. Of course, El Hareedy made a century in the last frame, a clearance of 107. Stan Moody's needed a few chances. He did make a 90 in frame 2.
6. Seven. $14.
So he needs this black
15.
or pink, but it'll be the black I expect to lead. 42 with 43 on, so we'll still need a red actually. Yeah, still needs this red.
22.
And, you know, he could be better on it. Going to need the rest. These are definitely missable, and the frame's not his yet.
Stan Moody 22.
Interesting. I mean, obviously, El Hareedy needs blacks with the reds, and where the reds are, you know, it's not going to be straightforward, but the frame could be done. There's still a glimmer here for him, and a 2-2 at the interval would be some result, I think. So, he needs to be on the black.
1.
Oh, well. Ooh. Well, he could roll up to it, but equally he could just try and pot it in the middle. Snooker would seem guaranteed. The pot, definitely not. Playing the pot, I think. Is it there? No. So, I'm afraid he now needs 2 snookers. As I say, with the reds down the bulkhead, it was always a tall order. Moody just needs to keep his discipline here. Not start whacking the balls around. You know, anything can happen then. Balls can fly in. 1-3-1 from Yao Peng Cheng. The standard really is very impressive, isn't it? So many players now right through the ranks just knocking in big breaks. So still 2... He went in off. Still 2 snookers needed.
7.
Well, I just hit that all wrong. He's made a century. It's worth reiterating that. You know, that was a really impressive break, but otherwise, been a disappointing performance. And Moody gets his chance to put the frame away and take a 2-frame lead into the interval.
5.
Julian Bell already looking at his watch, ready to look out when we're coming back. It'll be at about 25 to 6 local time.
9.
So Moody has gone for his shots. He hasn't got them all, but I guess in the end he's got enough of them
14.
to hold this advantage at the break.
20.
Left-handed.
20 in the frame. Stan
Moody leads Mahmoud El Hareedy by 3 frames to 1 at the mid-session interval, and the players and myself will be back in 15 minutes for more.
53, please. Yeah, thank you. please. Thank you. Frame 5, Mahmoud El Hareedy to break.
Well, not for the first time this week. There's no way that was 15 minutes. They're back early. But anyway, they're back. And it's Stan Moody leading 3-1 against Mahmoud El Hareedy, who did make a century in the third frame that he won. But otherwise, Moody's just had enough chances. But he has left a red on here for his opponent.
One.
And he's certainly not been outplayed in this match. He's had a lot of chances, just hasn't been able to take all of them. But these last next couple of frames after the interval are going to be important in terms of whether he can mount a sustained challenge or whether Moody is going to kind of coast through.
5. 6.
'Very confidently played, and at the very least there's a red over
11.
pocket here. It's good to see a bit of aggression. You know, as I say, got to show Stan Moody what he's made of, because he's no doubt Moody is very confident.
12. 17. 18.
Well, he's still on 1-2
23.
left middle. But doesn't pot
Mahmoud
it.
El Hareedy.
Well, it's a good
20.
chance that when he got the reds open, you know, be looking for a lot more there, clearly. Hasn't left the simplest of starters, though, from Moody. But what a pot that is. Just lost position for blue to middle, but he may well go to corner. That's what he's looking at. If not, the green's on.
Four. Five.
Complication here at the moment, the black obviously not in a great spot. It won't go to left corner. Just off the cushion, could go to right corner, but also the pink is safe-ish, so he's sort of working off the blue. So there's going to be a little bit of shoe leather expended here with this cue ball. Which is why top side of the blue is where he wants to be here.
$11. $16. $70.
Just overran for blue, so it'll be bulk colour. As I say, it's just a bit of travelling required for the cue ball. It's just when the big two colours are out of commission. Just a fact that you're going to have to really work that white. Ooh, that red just wriggled
21.
home. Now, is he going to be topside? No, he's not. So he's kind of not getting any more straightforward this break.
$26.
Which now comes to an end. But as I say, it was just never straightforward
26.
because of the layout of the table. But he's covered the read by the yellow pocket. Well, he's playing positively. At no point has Mahmoud El Hareedy tried to tie this match up, but they've got to go in. And Stan Moody's just getting, at the moment, enough chances in these frames.
One.
This is another one, as he nudges in front here.
Six. Seven. $12.
He's annoyed by that. It was
12.
another chance, and okay, he's here to get to 5 frames, but he wants to play his best snooker as well. So although he's 3-1 up and in fact in front in this frame, he's still a bit annoyed, Stan Moody. I think it is a sign of the real talents in the game. I mean, we saw Jack Mazowski the other day. We've seen Luca Brissell here as well. Very likely when they're practicing, you know, 20 minutes before the match, they're knocking everything in. They feel great, but if you don't reproduce that on the match table, it doesn't take much to get frustrated when you're that good.
6.
Anyway, El Hareedy still's got to deal with these 2 reds close to the left-hand side cushion.
7.
He's looking for an angle top side of blue, which he's not got. So he'll do well to get close to them now. Well, he's got close to them, but not to pot them.
12.
But the frame's in the balance. A big frame for him, really, to stay in this match. 4-1. Moody becomes a bigger favourite, of course.
Mahmoud El Hareedy. Thank you.
Wow.
Foul. A miss.
Unexpected that.
Mahmoud El Hareedy. 4. Is that okay, Stans? Yeah, okay.
Well, looks like he's covered that one. Yeah, El Hareedy letting us know. So he's covered the one that's clippable into right corner. Does he fancy having a dart at this one? Just a bit awkward with the yellow by his bridge hand. Screw him back for a degree of safety, but red has come back as well. So Stan Moody gets another opportunity. It's one of these matches, and he's not won yet, but if he does win it, say 5-1, people who haven't watched the match will look at the result sheet and sort of shrug almost and say, yeah, that must have been easy. It hasn't been, actually. Not been absolutely dominant, but he's taken more of his chances than his opponent, and that's all really it's about, isn't it? Play better than whoever you're playing. He's going to play Stephen Maguire tomorrow if he wins. He'll have to up his game for that one. There'll just be a different energy in the room as well, playing Maguire. First things first, put this frame away and he'll be on the brink. So he'll need yellow, and then yellow again, green, brown and blue. Won't need the awkward pink and black. Our team Zhuzhen is 4-1 up against David Lilly. He's had back-to-back 1-3-6s there, Zhuzhen. Anton Kazakov at the interval 3-1 up on Fang Zhengyi. Ashley Carty 3-2 up on Matthew Stevens. 2-2 Jimmy Robertson and Yao Peng Cheng. 3-2 Oliver Sykes over Zach Surety. 2-2 Herguo Chang and Sean O'Sullivan. But this looks like very much 4-1. Just needs the blue.
15.
So again, he just got enough chances there. To be fair, when he was in earlier, it was a tough table. Pink and black out of commission. Mahmoud El Hareedy went for the penultimate red. It was tough from distance and came back. He sort of played with a bit of safety in mind, got the white back to bulk, but the red came back as well. Left it for Moody to the green pocket. And he's done the rest.
26 and the frame.
So Stan Moody moves to within 1 of victory here. He leads 4-1. 1 more frame, and he'll be playing Stephen Maguire in this session tomorrow. It's 10 o'clock and 4 again tomorrow. On table 1 at 10. We've got Gary Wilson against Aaron Hill in a rematch of their meeting in the China Open, where Wilson led 4-0, Hill 1-6-5. Of course, it'll be best of 9 here tomorrow. Fourth year of the Wuhan Open. Judd Trump won the first staging in 2023. Of course, since then, Zhao Guidong has won back-to-back. The only ranking event he's won, and he's won it twice. He beat Moody in the quarterfinals last year, 5-2. Of course, that was Moody's first quarter-final. He got to the British Open last day as well. Qualified for the Crucible. There were a few disappointments as well. That's inevitable in a long season. Looking at the high breaks in this tournament, our team Zhuzhen has made 3 of the top 7, so he really is playing good stuff. He's, as I say, in front there against David Lilly. 4-1.
Thank you, frame 6. Stan Moody to break.
Yeah, I recall Lily beat Zhuzhen, didn't he, in the final qualifier round of the UK Championship last year, so they've got previous. Anyway, we're underway in frame 6. Will it be the last frame? Stan Moody needs it to progress to the last 64. Well, again, lining this up. And that's terrific.
One.
Really well struck by Mahmoud El Hareedy. So he's in, but very soon has got to get these reds open. There is one red at the bottom of the cluster that does actually pot. And of course, there's the red in the middle of the table as well that he's played on. But it might be now off the blue. He leaves the angle to go into the pink.
5.
Get the reds moving.
Six.
Could still play on the loose one here. But it is the last available red.
11.
So can he get into these reds? It's a good effort, this.
19.
Problem is just reaching that red that he's looking at. So it's going to be the thinner cut because the other one's just hard to get to the cue ball. Stay positive in this match, as I say.
20.
He's not trying to mess the balls about. He's trying to get in and kill the frames off. Bit of a side, didn't quite land on the blue as intended. No real angle on it, that's the problem. So can't do that much with the cue ball. Well, in fact, he's taking the green to try and recover position. Strikes the ball with a lot of authority, I think.
$23.
Again, has just sort of finished. Not absolutely ideal in anything. This red is still potable, though, to left middle.
$24.
Yeah, nicely done. So this is now a promising scoring chance.
$31. $32.
just joining us, he did make a 107 break in frame 3.
34. $35.
Oh, just as he was going along nicely.
Mahmoud El Hareedy.
This is that
35.
flew out of nowhere. Stan Moody's very quick to the table, isn't he? Just scampering to the table to see what's on.
One. Eight.
Well, he's asking the referee to ask his opponent to sit down. Maybe just conscious that he's sort of standing up, almost expecting him to miss. The etiquette is that you sit down.
9.
It's not a big deal, but anyway, it was all handled by Julian Bell. Oh, nicely done. Well, that could be the frame-winning and match-winning shot. He's got the reds into play.
16.
So it's all available to Stan Moody now to get this one.
17.
He's a very exciting talent, there's no doubt about it. He's making his
23.
way, still very young, only 19. So the next couple of years will be interesting to see how he develops. As I say, he's got better each season.
24.
He's moved forward each season. This is his 4th. So he's hoping for the next step. You know, he got to his first quarter-final last season, semi-final, maybe even a final. Climb the rankings, get a bit more consistency as well. No doubt he's got a lot of talent. Left that awkward though. Cue ball on the side
31.
cushion. So now looking to recover here. This red to middle again needs accurate cueing. And it stays out. Yeah, it was the positional shot that was the problem.
Stan Moody. 31.
Doesn't look like he's left anything though. So El Hareedy still in front by 4 points. .94 break from He Chang to lead 3-2 against Sean O'Sullivan. Zach Surety's pulled one back. Oliver Sykes 3-2 up against him now.
One.
Well, he's found one. Angle on the yellow doesn't look the best for getting to these 2 reds left of the pink. So may just play the snooker here.
Mahmoud El Hareedy, 1.
Well, that's another good pot.
1.
But again, well, this time the brown is available. Can get on the red in the middle of the table, so I think we'll see him taking this on.
Six.
So just looking to cover this red near the middle.
Mahmoud El Hareedy,
Leads
6.
by 11 points. Moody just hoping to get separation. Well, I'll be delighted with that result. More than delighted. Blue, those in his favour, 11 in front, so Moody is still going to need that blue. Can he just see enough of this to pot it? Yes, he can.
1.
So that blue now really is the key ball. Trying to bring it out here, is he? Well, not to be.
8. Ten.
So some sort of angle off the brown to attack the blue.
13.
Could play for the double, I guess. That's what he's decided to do.
17.
He will need the pink as well. Can he double the boot? Oh, just stays out, and he was nicely on the pink. Dramatic end then to this sixth frame. It was nearly an end to the match there. pot now. Where's this white? Well, it's all right.
5.
It's all right. He needs pink and black to steal the frame and extend the match. Yeah, good stuff. So, black for 4-2. Stan Moody was so close to victory there. He
Mahmoud El
nearly
Hareedy.
doubled the blue. He was on the pink, that was all he needed, but the blue stayed out. And a steely little clearance, blue, pink and black from Mahmoud El Hareedy. It's 4-2. Martin Jojen now 4-2 up against David Lilly, who's won their 6th frame with a break of 71. 3-1 Anton Kazakov over Fan Zhengyi. 3-2 Ashley Carty over Matthew Stevens. 3-2 Jimmy Robertson over Yao Peng Cheng. 3-2 Oliver Sykes over Zach Surety. 3-2 He Guo Chang over Sean O'Sullivan. So a Moody victory still seems likely here, but he's being made to wait. It nearly happened there. Be interesting though if El Hareedy could win the next frame. You just never know. He's putting a bit of pressure on. Now, of course, Father's Day coming up on Sunday, and there is a ticket offer for the English and British Opens that are coming up later in the year. The British Open first week of September, the English Open follows straight after. And as I said, there's a ticket offer. If you buy a ticket, you get a free one for your dad. So that's for the first 3 days of both tournaments. Now you can use the code DAD, all caps, DAD147, so DAD147. If you book by midnight on June the 21st, go to wst.tv/tickets, wst.tv/tickets. There's also a separate offer for the Northern Ireland Open, for an all-day ticket for the first 2 days. The code there is NIDAD. NIDAD147, but check out the website, it's got all the information there. Stan Moody's own dad is he's not in the front row at the moment, he was earlier. Nigel, he'll be watching somewhere. As we wait for El Hareedy to return, and well, still potential for another 3 frames.
Frame 7, Mahmoud El Hareedy to break.
well. I mean, that's the worst possible start from El Hareedy, having won that last frame so impressively. That might be his last shot now.
1.
I mean, very strange. But anyway, we'll see. Moody's got that kind of buzz about him. He knows this is a big early chance already in the 7th frame to get it won.
Eight. 9. 16. 17.
Well, I bet Moody couldn't believe his luck, the opening he got. Just a little
24.
short, but he's okay. He's on this red.
$25. 27.
Still a slight stretch, but just needs to deliver the cue nicely here. No problem. Back around the
28.
black. He projects good energy, I think, in the arena, Moody. You know, you kind of know it's a match. He's got that sort of bounce around the table, that confidence.
$35.
Turned professional, winning the World Junior title in 2023. He was actually runner-up in the World Amateur event as well, staged by the World Snooker Federation.
$36.
Well, it doesn't hurt to get the blue back on its spot in the middle of the table there. Nicely accessible. He's got to find his way to this next red. Not good really
41.
on the side cushion. It's just made it more difficult. So another hurdle to get over here. This is definitely missable. Yeah. It wasn't easy, so a reprieve for Mahmoud El Hareedy. 41 from Moody, but not over the line yet.
One.
El Hareedy looking for an angle off the blue now to get these reds open. So a lot rests on this shot, on this split. It's pretty good.
6. 7.
Oh dear. Well, he's played into them again and has just flicked off them and landed nowhere.
12.
Just briefly, we had another century. Hugo Chang to lead Sean O'Sullivan 4-2. Well, that was hit so thin it barely moved.
Really?
And he's annoyed. Moody's right down to play this shot. Leading by 29. Oh, maybe a bit quick on it. Now he's annoyed. They're both annoyed. El Hareedy less so now that, I mean, he hadn't even got to his seat there and Moody had played that. But he missed it. Now we're going back to him being annoyed. And Moody, he's less annoyed. It's a frustrating game. But Moody now, this is where he just needs to take a breath. Doesn't need to rush into this. It's a chance to win. Just take it slow, take it calm.
Okay. 1.
And just focus and try and keep control of the cue ball. And he should be into the last 64 of this Wuhan Open. And a tasty meeting with Stephen Maguire tomorrow. That'll be very interesting. We'll have it for you on table 1 at 4 o'clock.
8.
I think there are mistakes he'll need to cut out tomorrow, but he knows that. I think it'll be a really good match, actually. I fancy them both to play well. We'll see. 4 o'clock local time. It's not through yet, by the way, but he's getting closer.
16. 17.
So the blue to lead by 52. 51 actually, but he'll need another red either way. Stan Moody reached
22.
his first ranking event quarter-final at the Wuhan Open last year. He beat some big names, Ding Junhui and Barry Hawkins amongst them. Love to get back there, and he's one match
23.
away from a return trip, because barring snookers, he's into the last 64. Mahmoud El Hareedy showed a lot of potential. I thought he made a century. Of course, he stole that last frame with quite a steely clearance. Positional play, the odd time has let him down. It did in this frame.
29.
And then the odd miss as well has contributed.
$34.
Moody can just enjoy the moments of victory.
35.
Fascinating to see how he goes on this season. If he can keep improving, you know, we could see him in the top 32 maybe. 40 as the campaign begins.
Stan Moody.
So that last
35.
chance was the remaining chance that he needed to get this one. Stan Moody completes victory
Frame
over
match.
Mahmoud El Hareedy by 5 frames to 2 to advance to the last 64 of the qualifying for the Wuhan Open. As I say, we'll see him tomorrow, but the first match you can join Micah McMullen at 10 a.m. local time for Gary Wilson against Aaron Hill. That'll be another very interesting match. Other matches continuing right now, but that is it from Table 1 for today. So we'll be back for the last day of qualifying tomorrow. Do join us at 10 o'clock local time. For now, though, it's goodbye.